Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. This time I bring you the mod of Wan's Ancient Beasts. A fun mod that is adding new Sniffers. But before starting, as always, let me ask you please, you subscribe and leave your like, since that will be helping me a lot to continue uploading content like this every week. And if you would like to help me a little more, well, you can become a member of the channel, eh? Why? You will be able to have new benefits such as exclusive emotes, greetings at the end of the videos, and also watch the videos long before they come out. Who knows, maybe this video will end up coming out 2 weeks after uploading it. Wink wink, and nothing else to say. Now, let's go for the video. Welcome to Ancient Beasts. A mod will add new and interesting creatures to you that will keep you company and will complement the story of the Sniffer a little, being obtained in very similar ways. In ancient structures, with mysteries like fossils, vases, and new weapons that will be waiting for you in this fun adventure. Starting with the first of the structures, the Temple of the Badlands, an ancient construction made of terracotta and red sandstone. In this we will find some treasures like vases and the suspicious new red sand. We can also find this in abundance downstairs, along with the remains of a dinosaur fossil. While on the top floor of the structure, there will be a spawn of stuffed animals with a chest. Within the suspicious sand of this temple, we can find the old blacksmith mold, the jaw-based design, and the eater egg. We will talk about these eggs a little later. The next structure will be the frozen nests, of which we will have two variants, the normal nest and the double nest. In these we can find some old nests with some chests, frozen straw blocks, and the most interesting thing, the suspicious ice blocks, similar to gravel and sand, will contain some mysterious treasures. But instead of using the brush as usual in this, we will need a chisel. This new ice, we will be able to take out the old blacksmith mold, frozen old meat, the spout-based design, and the soar egg. Continuing, we will have the frozen castle, a new structure with different floors and paths, where we will find some chests and suspicious ice. In addition to two important rooms, the treasure chamber with a chest and a spawn. And below you will find the fossil chamber, full of suspicious ice, where we will find the old blacksmith mold, the design of the walking vase, and the walker egg. Then we will have the desert temple. At first glance, the simplest structure of all. Well, they will just be a bunch of walls surrounding a chest in the center, which you should be very careful with, since if you open it normally, you will be falling into a deadly trap. However, like everything, most important will be the blocks of suspicious sand. Well, in this one, we will find the old blacksmith molds, the thorn vase design, and crusher's egg. Now, traveling to the jungle, we will find three structures, which technically will be the same, but they will keep certain changes. In this case, we will have the abandoned house, a house connected by two bridges, which will contain some chests and suspicious gravel. Very similar to this one, we will also have the abandoned hut, which will be a somewhat simpler construction. And the last and most important will be the abandoned village. In this we can find the following objects: the old blacksmith mold, the drop vase design, and the glider design. And well, since we completely reviewed all the structures, now let's go for the creatures. First we will have the toxicant, a new variant of an extremely rare fish that can only appear in caves, warm ocean swamps, or mangroves. If this fish is hit without killing it, we'll be releasing a cloud of poisonous gas that will give you weakness and nausea. We can take this with a bucket of water or eat it cooked, although the latter is not a very good idea since it will make you hungry and nauseous. Well, we have finally reached the most striking part of the mod: prehistoric creatures. Who once lived with a sniffer? The first of these was the eater, being able to find its egg in table temples. They will be beasts highly respected by the rest of the creatures. terrifying anyone who encounters it. Except for the Wither or the End Dragon. And yes, you heard right. This guy can scare any mob. Even the Warden himself. Curiously, this one will be harmless unless we hit it. If we feed it with old meat, we will have the possibility of having the alpha effect for 2.5 minutes, increasing our strength a little more for every entity we kill. Another interesting thing about the Eater, it usually attacks other animals or looters, having the possibility of releasing one of his teeth. Said teeth, they will be useful for the creation of the Ancient Cane, a powerful new weapon with 9 damage and slightly faster to hit. And of course, the Eater cannot be tamed, but can reproduce with any type of meat. The next creature is the Walker, being able to find his egg in the ice castle, and being a totally peaceful creature this. We will only be able to domesticate it in its breeding state, feeding it with a spore flower. This will allow us to place a mount on it, where for players will fit. And that's not all. We can also equip it with a double chest to carry our things. We will be able to reproduce it, feeding it with azalea leaves. Continuing, we will have the Crusher, being able to find its egg in desert temples. And it will be a neutral beast that will attack him if we hit him. Fun fact, he will be immune to projectiles. In addition to that, if we use a chisel on them, we will be able to remove one of the spikes from its shell. Although the latter will not sit well with him at all. With this pick, a shield, and an old blacksmith mold, we will be able to create the reinforced shield, being more resistant and causing damage to enemies. Hand to hand, we will be able to reproduce the Crusher with hanging roots. The Glider will be a peaceful creature that we can get in ancient villages. Can be domesticated with puffer fish. And although he won't let us ride it, we will have basic functions like following us or sitting down. But the funny thing comes here. Well, if we put it next to a record player, this one will start dancing, from time to time releasing one of its feathers. Ingredient for making hang gliders. An interesting tool that will allow us to plan and move faster through the air. We will be able to reproduce the glider by feeding it with salmon. And finally, we will have the Soarer, a powerful flying creature from which we can obtain its egg of frozen nests. The Soarer will be the main predator of the Toxlican. Being his favorite food, we contain it with them. This will allow us to fly on its back with a saddle for a limited time. Because it will need to rest from time to time, we will be able to reproduce it with puffer fish and well. And finally, one last piece of information. Well, as you will notice, in this mob we will have to incubate too many eggs. The good news is that now we will also have the nests, which even will work with eggs other than the mod zone. And the hatching time will be greatly reduced. And well, what did you think of this mod? You would download it. Or what other prehistoric creatures mod would you like me to appear in an upcoming video? I will be reading you in the comments. And well guys, I hope you liked it. That they had fun, that is the most important thing for me. If you liked the video, I would ask you to please leave your like. Please comment on what you thought of this video. What other types of videos would you like to see on the channel? And also subscribe. That is very important. Remember that it doesn't rain chickpeas in France. And see you in the next video. Bye.